Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. My name is Jenny, and finally I have some of my Dollar Tree DIYs all finished. So in this video, I'm going to do about 7 of them. Now pretty much everything that you see here is from the Dollar Tree, except those gnomes that I just showed you, the napkins. So a lot of these DIYs are just using paint, glue, and napkins. I love doing these kind of things. It is so easy to do. I always try to make my DIYs as easy as possible because I know a lot of you have a disability or maybe arthritis. So that's why I try my best to do these as easy as possible. Now, again, most of all of this is from the Dollar Tree. So with all that said, let's go ahead and get this started. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take some baking powder and just some regular white paint. And I went ahead and add a little bit of this chalk paint. You don't have to, but I just did because I have a lot of these to make. I like to put the baking soda on one side and the paint on the other. And then I just use a little paintbrush and just add as I go. Otherwise, you're going to get it too pasty or too runny, so it's better to do it this way. And I'm using some makeup brushes or sponges from the Dollar Tree, and I just dab a little bit on there. And this is all I do. Now, a lot of people just take a paintbrush and just brush it on, but doing it this way gives it more of a texture look, I guess. It is time consuming, but in the long run, it's very, very nice. So that is what it looks like, just one coat. So I'm going to speed this up so you don't see me dab paint for like 3 hours, because that's about how long I took to do all these. After you get your first coat done, just put it off to the side, let it dry, and work on another DIY or go do some laundry, dishes, or shopping or whatever. Just make sure it's fully dry before you do your next coat. Otherwise, you're going to keep dabbing wet paint on top of wet paint, and it's going to start pulling off. So this is all I do. Now, this bottle did come from the Dollar Tree. They are hit and miss. Otherwise, you can find these at Walmart for a little over $2. So that is what one coat looks like. Now I'm going to do this little vase from the Dollar Tree. This one was super easy to do. Only took a couple of dips in the paint and it covered it all up. Now you can always use other colors as well, but I think white just really shows off the items that you do put on top of it. Now you can always do rub-ons, or you can do, let's see here, maybe other pictures. Now this is just one of those decors from the Dollar Tree. They had it in white and black. I just picked up a black one. For what reason, I do not know. But I'm going to do the same thing on here. So you don't have to do this procedure just on glass. You can do it on other things, other things as well. And I'm just mixing some more of my paint with the baking powder to get it a little bit thicker. And I'm going to finish up this one because the paint just didn't look right. So that's why I had to add more baking powder. Yeah, time to add more paint. Now this, I'm not going to put any baking powder in it because now I'm just taking one of those little wood boxes from the Dollar Tree. They had it in a heart, the square, and the circle. I'm just doing the circle. I'm doing the entire box white. Again, you can choose whatever color you want to do. And I'm very particular with how I do my paint as well. So now I'm doing another vase in a different shape. Again, this is from the Dollar Tree. Now I'm using a different makeup sponge, as you can see. And I made the paint a little bit thicker with more of the baking soda. And I'm going to do a close-up to show you the texture that this gives. And this is just the second coat. See that? Kind of hard, but it looks like cement almost. So I do that all over this entire vase. I even do the bottom and the top. Now that's optional. I just like to cover the whole thing. It's just, I guess, one of those weird things that I do. And another thing you can do, you can always do another color on top of the white. So that is what it looks like, fully covered. Okay, now I got to do another coat on this little glass ball thing. Moving back over to this, and see, I'm doing another coat, and see how thick and, I guess, grainy it looks. But I always like to cover the entire thing. Okay, now we're getting the Mod Podge out. Taking the napkin from the Dollar Tree, I cut out the flowers. You want to take all the layers off. Choose on where you want to put it. I flip it off to the side and just put some Mod Podge on the vase. And then I carefully fold it over. Anything that's not sticking, I just add a little bit more. Just be careful putting the Mod Podge on top of your napkin because it will tear and wrinkle. And of course, I sped this up because I don't think you want to watch me do this for an hour. Because again, I made a bunch of these for my daughter's wedding. Okay, now I'm going to take a little small one there and put one on top. Again, take all the layers off. So look how pretty that looks already. I'm going to add one more here on the bottom. And once that's done, I just put it off to the side for it to dry. Moving on to our next one. This kind of bottle that I'm using is one of my favorites. I wish I can find them again at the Dollar Tree. Okay, now I'm going to move on to this Gnome, which I got these napkins at Marshall's for $3.99, I do believe. So look how cute this is going to be. And you can always take pictures of your loved ones or pets and Mod Podge them onto vases as well. But I just really like to use napkins. Okay, now I'm going to put the different one there on the other side. See, that one has an apple, this one has a basket. Okay, now I did a wine glass from the Dollar Tree, and I thought I'd leave the layer, the back layer of the napkin on there just to see what it would actually look like. So once I got it on there and I start looking at it, I'm like, I don't think I like that. So I tore it off and redid it. And I think these napkins came from TJ Maxx for $2.99. And then I used this little vase from the Dollar Tree, or it's like a tea light holder, and took one of their napkins with the pumpkins and Mod Podged it on there. And that napkin, I don't know, it was just way too big. I did not like the way it looked, but I thought I'd just throw it in here just to show you. But I think the pumpkins are way too big for this small vase. Okay, now I cut off these little gnomes off the Christmas garland that I showed you at the very beginning. And I'm taking a little vase from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to place these gnomes all the way around. Now they have two different ones on there. One has a green present on in its hand, and then the other one has, I'm trying to think what one it had. Right there. A red present, and the hat sticking upright. So I'm doing every other. Now the next one is the same one I did the first one, but see, the hat you can flip it over so it's going the opposite direction. So just to change it up a little bit. A little booger try to escape. Did you see that? And the last one, again, super simple. Now I decided to take that wine glass again and add one sunflower on the very back. Again, these napkins did come from the Dollar Tree last year. Go ahead and I'm going to cover that. Now I'm going to give you a sneak peek on that ball that I painted. And this turned out really cute. I will show you the end results in another video because I'm doing another DIY video of Halloween decor. So again, this turned out super cute. So stay tuned. Okay, so I went ahead and put some flowers in these vases from the Dollar Tree. And look how cute this is. Taking a plain Jane glass, paint it, and throw some napkins on it. And there you go. How adorable. And it cost you $1. And then here is this one. I just put some different flowers from the Dollar Tree in there as well. Again, this is my favorite one. And I did a lot of these for my daughter's wedding, which was 2 weeks ago. And then the other one is this. Now I know the Dollar Tree still carries this shape of, although I think it's like a water pitcher or something. And then here's the little wine glass that I did. Love the gnome. And then there's the back. And this is one of my favorites as well, with the little gnomes on there. So this one, they have an apple in between them. And then on the back, they have a little basket. And of course, I put some floral from the Dollar Tree in there, all Christmas. And then here's the teeny tiny vase with the little gnomes from the garland. You can always add names or other things there on the top so it's not so plain, but I just wanted to keep it, well, plain and simple. And added some of the fairy lights as well. Now another thing I did, I took one of those very large flower pots from the Dollar Tree. I took some spray paint and just sprayed it. Of course, it's white. You don't have to do the inside, but I did a little bit and took more of the napkins and did a large arrangement for the reception. So I took some of these eucalyptus from Walmart, those little thingy-madoobers from Walmart, and flowers from the Dollar Tree. Now these other flowers that I just showed you, those were 97 cents or 98 cents. Took some newspaper to fill the bottom so I don't have to put a bunch of stuff in there. Just place some of the eucalyptus throughout and start throwing some of the sunflowers in there. And there you go. Super cute. Again, you can do all different designs, colors for different seasons and holidays. Okay, so we are back to our little cardboard box that's usually over by the Crafter Square items. Again, I'm going to take some of these little gnomes from the garland and put them around this little cardboard box. And let's see how this turns out. And these would be super cute to do up for gifts. You can put some candy in there or a gift card or something. So yeah, do your own little personal touch on a gift box for someone. So here is the end result. Just took some of the moss from the Dollar Tree or whatever that stuff is and more floral from the Dollar Tree. Look how adorable that is. Be cute to put up on a little shelf or something. Okay, now I'm going to take the lid. And these are some of the rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree. Of course, one of the little popsicle stick. And I couldn't decide if I wanted that one on the top or this one. Okay, I'm going to go with this one. Just be careful when you peel it off that your finger does not stick to it, because it will pull off, which has happened to me a trillion times. So just going to place it on there and take the stick and start rubbing it on. Make sure you get all the edges. When you go to peel it off very slow. So if you see any coming up, you just lay it back down and rub it a little bit harder. See, right there, that little piece was starting to come up. And you can always go over it with Mod Podge so it doesn't peel off in the future. So there you go. Now I thought I would take some of these buttons, which again are the transfers from the same pack, and I'm going to place it here on the edge of the lid. So let's see how this turns out, and that button just stuck to my finger. Little turkey. Okay, so look at that. Look how cute that is. So I'm going to do that all the way around this lid. You can use other designs or whatever, but I didn't know what else I would use these button transfers on, so I thought, hey, I'll just stick them on a lid. Something you probably don't think of every day, but for some reason I did. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Okay, now I ran out of some room, so now I'm going to measure. Okay, so that's where I need to cut it. And look at that. Look how cute that is. But it's so white. So I'm taking some of this paint from my Walmart. It's called Truffle. One of the little sponges from the Dollar Tree. Rub some of it off so it's not real thick and heavy. And that paint was only like $1.47, I think, at Walmart. So I'm just barely touching the edge just to give it a little bit of color and like it's kind of old, I guess. So I do that all the way around. Now I'm going to do it like on top of the buttons as well. Very, very lightly. When you're done doing that, I decided to do the top. Again, I hardly have any paint on there. And just lightly going over it. So now it looks kind of grainy. Wood grainy? Is that even a word? I don't know. But look how cute that is. And I also put a sunflower on the other one. And I did the brown paint around that as well. So I'm going to show you what else I did with this. So there's the lid on top of the box. So yeah, okay. Now I took a Phillips screwdriver, poked a little hole right there. I've taken some of the twine or jute cord, wherever that was from the Dollar Tree. A little bit of their ribbon. Making a really small bow. Very easy. Hopefully you just saw how I did that. Now I'm just going to tie a little knot. Right there in the middle. And double knot it. And now I'm just going to feed it through the hole there. See? Now you're going to take another piece a little bit longer and thread that through as well. And it doesn't matter what order you do that in. Once you get that through the hole, go ahead and take the two little strands from the bow, double knot that, cut off the extra. Now take the longer string, and double knot that on top. Take your scissors and trim that, and there you go. Look at the cute little ornament. Now I'm going to show you what else you can do. So I'm just taking an empty Dollar Tree bag, some of that, whatever that foam stuff is, some of that moss. Put that around there. I have these sunflowers from the Dollar Tree. Now you can do little short ones. I decided to take one that has a little bit of a stem. I'm taking a bunch of these other little sunflowers and just placing it around. And look how cute that is. A little display. And I also did this one as well. And you can always do other flowers. I'm just showing you the sunflowers because I had a trillion of them from the wedding. So you can do Christmas ones, fall ones, summer ones, birthday. So yeah, thought it was cute. So that is the end of my Dollar Tree DIYs. If you want, why don't you comment down below and let me know what one is your favorite. Be sure to check back later because I will be uploading some more DIY. So I hope you all have a wonderful, beautiful, safe day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. Keep smiling.